falling, 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 falling.
Bridges in the United States, the Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, and a fine Eastern Conference affair here at Barclays Center. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. A good game here would get this road trip started confidently for the Cavaliers. A superb ball club playing a great brand of basketball.
Don't you dare be sour! Clap and feel the power! Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna show you. Beautiful morning, yeah, it's up in my morning, babe. Nothing in the morning.
Put some respect on.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here with another NBA 2K MyCareer gameplay. And today we're taking on the Brooklyn Nets. We up in Brooklyn, New York. We're going to try and see if we can take care of business here against the Nets today. But as you all know, you see the title.
Yep.
You know why you clicked on the video.
Yep.
So you know we're not here to talk about the gameplay.
Yep.
So let's just get right into it, buddy. Alright, so
And they get it back. Cleveland will retain possession.
LeBron James. Your boy LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Been talking a little bit of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, LeBron, you know, I've been saying this before that LeBron, you know,
oh, that is just weak.
his shine got taken from him by your boy. You know.
Being Steph Curry with the shot.
So, you know, since his shine got taken, you know what I'm saying, he been trying to come out the woodworks. Now, I've been saying for the longest, man, LeBron wasn't acting like this in Miami. He wasn't. I don't know why he's acting like this now, because somebody took your shine. It shouldn't really matter. I mean, when KD was the MVP, it was nothing but love. But when Steph Curry the MVP, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden you want to talk all this shit about, you know, about who's the real most valuable player. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. But anyways, though, basically what LeBron has been saying about Steph Curry winning the MVP 2 times is because he's been saying that if your team doesn't really need you to win basketball games, you're not truly a valuable player. You're a good player, a great player, but you're not MVP worthy if your team can't win without you. So basically what LeBron is saying is that Steph Curry, you don't need Steph Curry. The Warriors don't need Steph Curry to win games. Which, if you really think about it, is true.
Yep.
So, I mean, say what you want about LeBron's arguments, but it's kind of true, you know. Even without Steph Curry, the Warriors could still dominate any team in the NBA.
Yep.
So, nobody's arguing with him on that. But what I have a problem with is with his MVP discussion, saying that he's not the true most valuable player. If he's a true valuable player, you know, you win most valuable player based off of, you know, how your team is doing. You know what I'm saying? If your team can't win games without you, are you really a valuable player? And it's a discussion. I thought about it because at first I actually agreed with him, but then I had to think about it. Like, wasn't LeBron on like a stacked ass team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? And wasn't there at times when LeBron James couldn't go, where he rolled his ankle one night, or he was having back problems? And Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade stepped up and won games without him on the court. And didn't the Miami Heat almost make it to the Eastern Conference Finals to face LeBron? So, if anything, LeBron, your arguments kind of fall back on your MVPs that you have gotten. So I don't know where he's getting at. So I mean, a guy like Kevin Durant. I mean, it's obvious that, you know, as many triple doubles as Westbrook could put up, it's not going to get the Thunder into a playoff position, especially in the Western Conference. If you need any more proof, go back to last season when the Pelicans made the playoffs and the Thunder didn't. So there's that. Then we have so technically Kevin Durant would probably be the most legitimate MVP of the past couple of years if you really think about it. And then after that there was Derrick Rose. I don't know why the phone is ringing, but whatever.
Now that we have a chance, let's take a look at the NBA scoring leaders since the
then you have
there
was Kobe, Dirk Nowitzki. Like, come on, man.
Here's what Brooklyn's
like, so basically what you're saying is that teams that have guys like, you know, guys like, so basically what you're saying is guys like Shaq, guys like Tim Duncan, guys like, well, who I want to say, Michael Jordan. Without those guys, those teams, what you're basically saying is, even though those guys are great players and probably the best players on their team, they aren't really valuable. They aren't really valuable players if their team can win games without them. So technically, they're not really an MVP-worthy player. That's basically what you're saying, LeBron. Because I really had to think about this when I thought about all the players that was on good-ass teams that won MVPs. And thinking about those good-ass teams that didn't really need them at certain points. So, when you really think about it, you know, he's really saying guys like Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan. They don't deserve MVPs because they're not, you know, because their teams can win games without them on the floor. That's basically what he was saying. Me personally, I don't agree with it. If you win MVP, it's because you're the best player. If you're the best player, if you've been doing your damn thing all year, you deserve the MVP, hands down. I'm not a fan of Steph, but I understand why he won MVP this year, because the guy is fucking amazing when you really sit down and watch what he does. When you really sit down and watch what he does, you really admire the greatness that this dude puts on display. There's a reason why he's always the MVP. There's the reason why he's won the MVP now two times in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, don't hate. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate greatness. You know what I'm saying? The boy Steph Curry's on the come up, man. All just because he's evolved from a jump shooter to this complete total package superstar, and all just because he don't end up on, you know, Sports Center highlight. I'll take that back. He do end up on dick riding the fuck out of at ESPN. So just because he's not dunking on people like a LeBron James normally does or Blake Griffin normally does, he's not MVP. I don't understand, bro. I don't, because when you really look, when you really sit down and you really think about this and you think about all the players that have won MVP,
notch that up one more to 67.
when you think about all the players that have won MVP, and you think about how good their teams were to the point where they didn't even need that guy, but he was the best player on their team, so they kind of did need him. If they wanted to win a championship, they was going to need him. But you catch my drift. So I don't understand, man. It's just personally how I feel, man. I don't take it as, you know.
Mets trail by 18.
I don't see it as, you know, I don't see it in the way that LeBron sees it. I see it in the way of, if you're the best player in the league, you're dominating the league. Your team is undisputed. Your team is undisputedly the best team with the best odds of winning a championship that year. And you're the star player on that team, you deserve to be an MVP, hands down. End of discussion.
Releases from 15.
It's not an individual. It's not an individual. It's an individual award. But if you have a strong team behind you, you can, even as long as you have a strong team behind you, it gives you more recognition. You know what I'm saying? To get that MVP award. You know? So that's just me. That's just me. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Steph Curry, but I do believe that, you know, when you busting everybody ass in the league and you dominating the way you dominating, you deserve MVP. Hands down. End of discussion. That's what Steph Curry did. He busted everybody ass this year, went 73-9, and got the MVP award.
No good. And
I ain't got nothing to say because the man is out here doing this thing. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had to say about this topic at hand. I will see you on the next video. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Till then, peace out.